Hi Dave, just wanted to sing you a little song and just talk about a couple of incidents. Dave, oh Dave, oh crazy Dave. Dave, oh Dave, oh crazy Dave. Oh Dave, you sure can misbehave. Oh Dave, oh crazy Dave. Well Dave, yes, you sure are one wild and crazy guy. And as I was thinking over a few incidents, one in particular came to mind. Do you remember the pig's head in the trunk of Mom's car?
Oh,
Remember you bought that pig's head in the butcher shop while on a high school field trip to Kensington Market? Yup, you did. And you brought that pig's head home in the trunk of Mom's car and you left it there. Yes, you did. And that night was my night out with the girls. So we decided that we'd just go cruising around in Mom's car. Well, we were heading over to P&S for a hamburger and all was well when a policeman came and pulled us over and he asked to see my license. Fine, no problem, I thought. Showed him my license and then he asked if I would open up the trunk. Fine, I thought. There was no beer or anything in there, nothing that we had to hide. Well, you can imagine the look on that officer's face, not to mention the look on my face, when he opened that trunk to find a pig's head staring out at him. Not just a pig's head, but a pig's head wearing one of Dad's hats with a scarf and smoking a pipe. Needless to say, that police officer was not impressed when I insisted that I knew nothing about that pig's head, didn't have a clue where it had come from, but thought that I recognized the hat as belonging to my father. Anyways, thanks, Dave, for making an otherwise uneventful night rather memorable.
Try to control yourself.
Life is a lark, party at the Clark's.
oh,
Don't you wish you still had those business cards?
Important thing you have to remember from your first 40 years of life is when you go diving, make sure you wear one of these, okay?
As I lay in the bed in Myrtle Beach, I woke up in the middle of the evening. Charming, his hands folded across his chest, a man in peace. He was sleeping on 3 bar stools, his head on one, his ass on another, and his feet on another.
What's this, Clarky? You're really 40 years old? Jack Benny never got to be any older than 39. At any rate, I wish I was there with you on your great birthday turning the big 4-0, and I wish I could go out on a big party, go home with you after the party's over, and see if you really don't know where the hell your house is. Have a great time.
Happy birthday, Clarky. Today's your day, and on account of that, I've got something to say. Highly unusual, but I really do. When I was at WBS, I was the girl next door. You were always cracking jokes or giving me a sports score. An avid sportsman is what you are. 18 holes of golf, a few rounds of squash, and off to the bar. The BES caught your interest too, with golf days and ski days. Well, perhaps 4 seasons, luncheons, you've missed a few. Clarky, you should be proud of yourself, having made it to 40. Now that you avoid empty pools, and you're not so portly. So I raise a glass with the rest of the bunch, and ask that you give me a call, because I'll buy you birthday lunch.
Hi, my name is Dave Clark. I'm in LA. When I was 40, I couldn't remember after 8 o'clock, so any stories I gotta tell you I can't, because when we're out together, we're both the same, we're going like this.
Years ago, we started drinking at lunch. How unusual. I think it was a party for Frank Babbage. And we got at it pretty heavy, and 6 o'clock rolled around, and 7 o'clock rolled, and 8 o'clock. The casualties started to mount. I like this theme of party without Dave, you know, 40th birthday party without Dave. Have the BS without Dave. I mean, could you imagine that? I mean, we could even have Friday afternoon at the Pilot without Dave. Nah.
Happy birthday, Clarky.
Clarky,
40th birthday, buddy. You could have a good time at a telephone booth. Clarky, happy 40th, buddy. You're one of the best.
Dave, remember Jamaica and the water skiing story? Right?
Well, Dave, other people probably don't. Donna, Randy, and I were standing in the water, worried about the fact that you'd fallen water skiing, very concerned that maybe you broke your neck again. And what happens when you roll up in the boat and say, "No, my back's fine, this looks like this." And this is how you looked.
Have a great birthday, Dave.
Have a great birthday, Dave.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Dave. I guess when I was asked to think for a few moments about what I might say to you, one of the first things that came to mind was the issue of trust. You and I have been friends for a long time, and I think a good test of that was when we decided to move to Newmarket from Toronto a few years ago, and you knew that it heard we were looking at a house beside the golf course, and you, without even a request, went up to Glenway and checked out the golf course and made sure that there wouldn't be any golf balls anywhere near our house. And as a matter of fact, I don't know when I last saw a golf ball, Dave.
My number one Dave Clark story has to be the air filter around the head, but I'm sure Donna might have done that story. We walked back to the bar, and he said, "Smitty, here's our night. The boys are out. Let's have a good time." So we went back to the bar, and the first thing you notice as soon as we walk into this bar, at Whistler, Dave knows everyone. Turns out a bunch of guys from Collingwood, Joso's, they all know Dave. So we said hello, had a couple of drinks there, then Dave's working up a hunger. "Come on, Smitty, let's go get something to eat." By this time, Dave's had one too many drinks, so we stagger across the Whistler Village to an Italian place. Big noticeable change in temperature when we go from outside, which was very cool and refreshing, into a very warm Italian restaurant, and this hits Dave like a ton of bricks. So we're sitting there talking, lining up, waiting to sit down. Finally, our table's ready, and I can see Dave starting to pull a Clarky. He's losing it big time quickly. So we sit down at the table. We have an opportunity to order our food, and Dave at this point is nodding, and the head's going back, and the food finally arrives. Just as they slip the Panzerato special down for Dave, the face pulls one of these right into the Panzerato. The tomato sauce is all over the side of the face, it's in the mustache, and of course, being the good friend that I am, I left him there while I finished my meal for about 20 minutes, and then finally we had to lift his face out of the Panzerato and clean him up and take him home. So that's one of my Dave Clark stories that I'll always cherish dearly. And